All right, so tell us, Joe, go ahead and summarize what happened with this Justin Gilbert trade while I get.
The Browns have traded their ninth pick to the Vikings for the Vikings' eighth pick. The Browns also threw in this year's fifth round pick, 145, and they moved up to take a defensive back. I guess the Vikings had intended on taking him, and the Browns offered them enough for them to reconsider, and now the Vikings have taken Anthony Barr
Okay.
from UCLA.
All right, so what I want to do then is, so Panther Drafter, I sent, what we got right now is we got Aaron Ford joining us, and Joey, I want you to commentate with Aaron as I go ahead and line up our next guest, okay?
Certainly, certainly. Aaron, what do you think of the trade from the Browns moving up one place to get Gilbert?
I was shocked. I heard you talking about being surprised. I'm not sure what they gave up, but
they gave up the ninth pick and the 145th pick.
Yeah. Well, they do have a lot of picks in this draft, so they probably figure they can't all make the team, so they might as well ensure the fact they're going to get their guy.
Okay.
That's the thought process, but I mean, they probably would have gotten him. Well, they probably would have gotten him anyway. If not, they could have gotten somebody just as good, like Bernard.
I see joining us now is Big Q. Aaron,
Yes, I'm back.
this is Big Q. Big Q, this is Aaron. Aaron is Carolina Cat Chronicles' very own version of Mel Kiper.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yes, he is. He is an analyst with DraftTech.com,
Okay.
and let me tell you, this man knows his draft stuff.
Good stuff.
And Aaron, just so you know, Big Q was one of our inspirations for starting Carolina Cat Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
We saw how good of a job he does, and we felt that he shouldn't be able to corner the market.
Yeah.
No, Big Q puts on a heck of a show, man. He's really good at what he does.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, because you guys are Carolina Panthers guy. You know, on my show we kind of do the whole thing.
Yeah, you do. You do the whole NFL.
But also there's the Black and Blue podcast too. Which
That's
is,
right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about that Cleveland move and taking Justin Gilbert, which was a shocker, albeit Ken made a good point that they now have a really good pair of cornerbacks. You know, they have Gilbert and they have Hayden.
Oh, look at that, Eric Ebron going to
Is that badass
The
tight end?
Lions. Wow.
Wow. That's not who people were thinking, but man, that's a good trade.
No. That's a good
But you know
move,
what,
though.
That is a very good move for Detroit.
Yeah. They can run too tight now because they have him and Pettigrew. And then they have Golden Tate and Johnson on the outside.
Yeah, man, that's scary. We play them week 2,
Yeah, we do. That's the game Tony and I are going to.
so we got Evans week 1 and Ebron week 2. We better get us a corner.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Mike Evans. Yeah, we need a corner. A big one at that.
Big one. We need Desir.
That's right.
Desire.
We desire to see her.
Exactly. Awesome.
I gotta step out for
Yeah, I'm
one
glad
second.
for him. You know, did you see him propose to his girlfriend today?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. That is very cool. I honestly, however, must say, if I was a young man being drafted into the NFL, one of the last things I would consider would be getting married.
I'd be having her sign a prenup too.
Right. Well, if we do get married, she is definitely signing a prenup.
All right, so Tennessee's up.
And Manziel's still on the board
Oh, that's got to be tempting. That has got to be tempting for them.
because they're definitely not sold on Locker.
Yeah.
And personally, I like Locker. I like him. I think he plays with fire and he plays.
Yeah.
You know, he gives it his all. He leaves it on the field, and I like that.
He does. He does. In my mock draft, my personal mock draft, I've got Manziel going to Arizona. We'll see how that plays out.
What pick is that? 20, right?
19.
19.
Go to a team where he doesn't have to start right away. He can learn from Carson Palmer. Got a good defense. Got Larry Fitzgerald.
You don't like the idea of him sitting behind Romo?
Yeah, it would be tough for Jerry to pass that up, but well, I wouldn't want to be Romo. That would be quarterback controversy.
Oh, right away.
All right, guys. I just want to let you know we got our first guest on the line. Well, not our first guest, our first call-in guest with CW, hardcore Tampa Bay fan, and this guy knows his stuff. He also is a big NC State fan. CW, thanks for calling in.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Tell me, what do you think about the Tampa Bay pick?
Well, I do know that they stayed pat at 7, which I'm glad they didn't have to worry about trading up or trading down. And they got the player they probably needed the most. Mike Evans is a big-time player. One of his best attributes is that he makes plays. And when you're talking about Vincent Jackson on the left side, you've got to have somebody on the right to take some pressure off him. You're talking about a 6'5" guy. He's got a huge hand, big-time player. He can step up during big-time plays for big-time games. And I really feel like he was definitely the best player on the board for the Bucs at number 7.
I feel like this could cause some trouble for the Panthers in the fact you guys have two enormous receivers right there. Who is going to be, are you guys going to just stay pat with McCown and maybe even just see if him and Glennon can get into a quarterback race?
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that the L&L group, Jason Light and Logan Smith, are going to draft a quarterback either tomorrow or Saturday. The question is, do they want to go up a little earlier than most and try to pick up somebody they can start maybe within a year or two, or do they want to ride the Josh McCown train and see if they can take him all the way through the playoffs and perhaps the Super Bowl? You're talking about a guy who only threw 1 interception in 7 games last year. So this is a guy that can't come in tomorrow and make the playoffs for the Bucs. But the question is, you're talking about value. I think more than likely if the quarterback they really like falls early in the second or third round, they're going to try to jump up and snag him. Otherwise, you're looking at Josh McCown probably being the starter within the next 2 years. Maybe they're looking at the draft next year for your quarterback. And when you start putting pieces together on the offensive and the defensive line, combined with the skill players they already have, and the Pro Bowl player like Levante David, you're going to be in position. And we know in the NFC South what usually happens. You go from worst to first. Well, Tampa Bay was tied for worst in the NFC South this year at 4-12. All the different transactions they made in the offseason, don't be surprised if they finish either 1 or 2 in the NFC South because of the transactions they made, and of course because of Lovie Smith.
Yeah, you guys made a ton of moves this offseason. I think you had 17 additions on both offense and defense, and most of those were coming. What was it? There were a lot of defensive acquisitions, right? Alteron, Werner. So was this the pick you wanted to see as a Tampa Bay fan?
Absolutely. There were talks in the last 24 hours that Aaron Donald might be the pick, simply because we knew Lovie Smith likes that 3 technique player to go along with Gerald McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about that position, we already have depth there. What we needed after the recent trade with Mike Williams to Buffalo, we had to have a receiver on the right side. We had 3 receivers in line to take that spot who basically had almost no experience or very little experience, and we had to have somebody with the size and the determination like him. And by doing that, now you've got to decide, okay, who do I want to double team at this point? Do you want to double team the 6'5" guy who can run the 4-4 or the 6'5" guy who can run the 4-5? And right now, that's going to be trouble for most corners in this league. And I do think that was the best pick for the Bucs. You are going to see more touchdowns. You are going to see Josh McCown throw the ball up in the air, but he's got to play. So you know the defense is going to be short up. So the question now is, what do we want to do with the offense and the defensive line? I think that's the position we're going to be working on in the second and third round.
That was my question. CW, my name is Joey, and I'm a co-host of the show with Tony. And that was my question: was as great as Mike Evans is a receiver, how are you going to be able to keep the quarterbacks upright to get them the ball? Specifically against the Panthers with the pressure that they're able to exert on quarterbacks.
But there's no doubt that the offensive line needs to be shored up. And you are going to see an acquisition probably tomorrow and possibly 2 picks on Saturday. We did actually take Anthony Collins from Cincinnati, just like we took Michael Johnson. Anthony Collins, a lot of people don't know about him. He's only had 1 year as a starter, but I want you to realize this. He had some of the highest ratings in terms of pass protection out of all AFC tackles last year in the 12 games that he started. So you're looking at a guy who has already stepped up and played. Now, does he have the experience for an extensive amount of time? No, he hasn't. But Anthony Collins has proven last year that he can step up in the AFC North, where you know there's some pass rusher, who can step up and help out the quarterback. So I really feel that that's an acquisition a lot of people aren't talking about that will help the Bucs. But you do have to worry about the other side, and I think the other side will be addressed in the next 2 days. But again, talking about the defense, as you guys mentioned earlier, we have shored up a lot of different positions on the defensive side, including corner and defensive end. So that's where I think you are going to see in the next couple of rounds the offensive line for sure being addressed for depth in that position.
All right. Yeah, I'm interested to see what moves they're going to make next.
CW, what did you think about what Atlanta did sitting tight there? Did you like that pick? Do you think that they seem like the team that typically kind of gets drawn into trying to get in some sexy action? To me, that was a good, solid pick for their organization. How do you think that that's going to factor into the dynamics of the division next season?
Well, when they're looking at what Tampa, Carolina, and New Orleans have on the defensive front, they did exactly what they needed to do. They drafted somebody who can keep their franchise player upright, and they drafted a guy who's going to be able to run block for their free agent acquisition last year, Steven Jackson. And Atlanta's been known to make some moves and move up. If there's a chance they can move up to number 2 to possibly take a Greg Lineman. But they just kept where they were. They decided not to give up any other picks, get some depth for the rest of the draft, and take the second best offensive lineman as opposed to the first. I think it is exactly what Atlanta needed to do. And as a Bucs fan, I'm not happy about it. I was hoping they would trade down or trade up and give up, both of the picks. But they did. If I were an Atlanta Falcons fan, I would be totally pleased with that pick. You got the lineage. You got somebody who knows football in Jake Matthews. He's probably the safer pick of the 3, even though Greg Robinson has a higher ceiling. But there again, Atlanta stayed pat where they were. They took the guy that's going to help them run the ball, pass protect, and they're in good shape.
What number pick do you guys have next?
We have 6 pick in the second round. So we'll be picking 6 tomorrow.
What is that, 30? Is that 39?
30, 38?
37?
38.
38. So what position do you want to see Tampa address most in that second round?
Tampa right now, looking at where they have, now that they've drafted their receiver, they certainly don't need to look there. I guess you got 2 choices there. You do need to address the offensive line for sure. And in particular, if you're talking about offensive tackle or offensive guard, I don't know that there's a lot of guards in the second round that are worth that value. Gabe Jackson might be one familiar face, but other than that, he may fall into the second or third round. But you also have a slew of tackles that could go at the end of the first. I would not be surprised to see 3 or 4 tackles at the end of this first round. But they make a quick run here. Really, it's all about value in the second round. You're looking at guard, you're looking at tackle, and don't be surprised if they. And again, they've done this before. Doug Martin was a great addition to our team 2 years ago. They had to trade up ahead of the New York Giants at the end of the first round to get it. So if they're really happy about it, Garoppolo, if they're really happy about Derek Carr, don't be surprised to see the Bucs kind of move up from the second round into the end of the first tonight and have a second pick before we go to bed. And we also have our quarterback as well as our receiver.
Wow, man, you're like a dang Mel Kiper caller of the Bucs. I am so impressed with this knowledge, Joey. Can you if I called into my own show, I don't think I could do this good. Joe, what do you think about that?
I have to agree. He seems to be very well versed in the needs and the Tampa organization in general. CW, I think we plan on bringing you back during the regular season to talk some more Tampa Bay Bucks. You've been really insightful, and I certainly appreciate you coming on and taking part of your night to spend with us.
I got two last quick questions for you, and my first question is this: is that because we can dislike each other plenty because ECU versus NC State, Panthers versus the Bucks, but we do have a common foe that's still ready to pick, and that is the New Orleans Saints. So what do we both together not want to see happen with the Saints? And then after that question, I want you to go ahead and address, just from the outside looking in, what you really think Carolina should do, because we tend to bring this completely slanted, we're all debating offensive tackle, wide receiver, but I kind of like to see that outside perspective. So first, New Orleans, what do you not want to see?
What I don't want to see is somebody on the outside, on the defensive front, who could actually cause havoc to our offense when we play them. I can easily see them taking a pass rusher or a linebacker who can really fill the holes and fit to that, because as you know, we all have good running games as well. And that's one position I do not want them to see. I would love to see them take an offensive player simply because it doesn't matter what offensive player you put in front of Drew Brees, he's going to produce. So you're essentially putting a waste in first round pick, because if you can make Lance Moore, be practically, 1,000-yard, 7-8 touchdown guy, more than likely, you can plug anybody in there. I do not want to see a really strong defensive player go there. But don't be surprised with Rob Ryan there. You're going to see some type of linebacker or rush passer who can really commit to the edge and take out Cam Newton, take out possibly Josh McCown or somebody else we may take.
So who is that?
They got to worry about.
Who is that guy? Is that Shazier? Is he's an option there? And then there's
Ryan Shazier is definitely an option from Ohio State. He's definitely somebody who will play the run, but also play the pass as well. That is somebody you have to worry about. New Orleans taking. And don't forget too, they have also given up points as much as they put points on the board. So you talk about one of the shutdown corners or one of the better corners in the league. Watch out for Kyle Fuller for Virginia Tech. He's somebody that they may be targeting as well, just like you saw Justin Gilbert go early in the first round. He's somebody too that they could actually pull up again. As far as Carolina, obviously, and I said this in my opinion, the Jets are the easiest team in the NFL to predict this year. What they're going to take in the first round, and that is wide receiver. There's no doubt in my mind wide receivers who they go with. Carolina is probably the second easiest. They're either going to go offensive tackle or wide receiver. You got a couple options there. And there again, it depends on how Carolina has their draft board in terms of who they have. So, you're looking at offensive tackle, wide receiver, and two potential positions that Carolina definitely is going to target.
Wow. I got to say, this guy is a caller that we are bringing back, Joey. We're actually just going to have to get you on
the show.
Yeah, on the show.
Yeah.
And let's just hope that you don't take it from us, because you killed it, CW. And I want to thanks a lot. And you know what? I'll be texting you for the rest of the draft, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it, guys. And keep in touch, all right?
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow, CW, Tampa Bay fan, bringing it, excited. What did you guys think about that caller?
It's pretty dope.
He said, I mean, what can you say? We don't like the Bucks, but my man knows his football, does he not?
Absolutely. Knows it inside and out.
Okay, well, Joey, go ahead and pick up with what's... Oh, how about this is...
Odell Beckham is a giant.
Oh, wow. She's going crazy, isn't she, Big Q?
Yeah, I had to mute my mic because she was kind of she's upstairs watching it, and she was screaming, and but they did lose two of their wide receivers and stuff, so and I knew they were gonna pick a wide receiver first.
Yeah, no doubt.
So.
It was easy to predict that.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, you kind of take over for a second. I'm gonna make contact with Reid.
All right. Well, I think the Giants definitely have just upgraded their receiving core. Who do you think the happiest man is in East Rutherford, New Jersey, or New York today?
Eli Manning.
All right. Who would the second happiest guy be then?
Who? Tom Coughlin?
No, the second happiest guy would be
Ruben Randall.
no,
Victor
the other
Cruz?
receiver,
Victor Cruz?
Victor Cruz. He's the second happiest guy
I
because
don't
now
think
he's
so.
got somebody. He's
Victor
got
Cruz-
somebody that can take some coverage away from him.
Yeah, but Victor Cruz won all the
So
targets.
does Ruben Randall. He was starting to come on in the second half of the season last year.
Yeah, I think Victor Cruz is the second happiest guy though. He
I don't
needed
think-
some help. He wanted the
think-
Giants to draft a receiver.
I think he did, but he don't like sharing targets though. He don't like that, man. He won all the targets, all of
The thing
them.
is, Odell Beckham Jr. is a guy who's kind of a slot receiver himself. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a great pickup for the Giants. I like it personally. I think it's
I
perfect.
wonder how he's going to work into the scheme, though. How they're going to get the two of them on the field. I guess they're assuming Beckham's going to be playing on the outside, but he's a little small, so we'll see.
Right, he is. He is the same style of player as Cruz. Shifty, quick, explosive. So it'll be interesting. I imagine they could be interchangeable.
All right, so the Johnny Manziel clock says Johnny Manziel's been sitting in the green room for an hour and 32 minutes.
If those two guys are interchangeable, though, I mean, is Victor Cruz the spot you really need to upgrade the most if you're the Giants? I don't think so.
No, I think you just got him help. I don't know about an upgrade. I don't know that you can upgrade, but you definitely can add some talent. Give Eli another weapon. I guess their next pick is going to be an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I bet you Eric Ebron was on their
Giants
board.
radar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
would've heard
guys,
that.
I'm going to jump on in here. What we got is we've got Reid Foster from Cover 32. He's the editor for the Carolina Panthers. We're going to have him on to talk a little NFC South and overall. Reid, thanks for joining us on the show.
How's it going, guys?
Oh man, hey Joey, what do you think about this draft? Tell Reid, are you impressed by the movements? Because I've been kind of overwhelmed just by producing all this. So Joe, you got to answer that question.
Reid, I think all the NFC South teams that I've picked so far have addressed needs. Where do you see the Saints going with their pick?
I think it can go in a number of ways. I think they need another defensive lineman. That's where I'm going. But I wouldn't be surprised if they went wide receiver or some sort of weapon because they lost Darren Sproles.
Right, that's when I'm inclined to think that they're gonna look to get Drew Brees another toy. That Sean Payton wants another cog in that offensive machine to replace Sproles. I think he was he was pretty good production wise for them.
Our Reid, this is Tony. Our last caller said this as we asked him the same question about the Saints, and he said that he hopes they pick an offensive player because you put any guy that's a first-round it's kind of a waste of a first-round talent because, in his words, he said Drew Brees can make Lance Moore look great. So what would you be most worried about the Saints picking? And then on top of that, do you think that their pick is in any relationship to what the Panthers, how much is that going to dictate what we do?
Well, I think the scariest pick for them is they take Teddy Bridgewater because the reports came out today that they're going to take Drew Brees' replacement in the top 3 rounds. They didn't say second or third round. They said first, second, or third. So I think if there's a really good quarterback at the end of the first round, they really like it. They could take him. And the thought of Bridgewater on the Saints really, really scares me. And I think in that sense, I think if Bridgewater or any one of the other quarterbacks is taken by the Saints, I think that directly affects the Panthers because I think Carolina is in a prime position to trade back with a quarterback needy team at number 28, which would be the ideal situation in my eyes at least.
Wow, is that we've been waiting right here. We were surprised by Tampa Bay's pick. I thought they were going Johnny Football, and our boy Big Q right now on the screen has a Johnny Manziel counter, and it is an hour and 36 minutes deep. what did you think about the Tampa Bay pick with Mike Evans, and as well the Atlanta pick? You know, which one impressed you more, or were they just kind of the standard?
That, Minnesota would have helped, but I think with Mike Evans, you pair him up with Vincent Jackson, and you have a really, really scary couple of receivers. It kind of reminds me of what they had in Chicago with Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, which Josh McCown last year, it was it was top 5 in the NFL last year when he was playing, and Jay Cutler, whatever Cutler was hurt last year. So I actually really, really liked that pick. I'm actually more impressed with the Atlanta pick because you don't get a guy in Jake Matthews. So I think that I'm not sure if he's going to left tackle or right tackle because you don't know if they're going to go with Sam Baker. But with that upper tackle to really help protect Matt Ryan and get him time to throw it deep to Julio Jones, I think Atlanta can be a top 5 offense. I'm really scared about what they can be next year because I really like the defense. If you get one pass rusher, a single outside linebacker pass rush, because I think they're switching over to 3-4 based on their free agency additions, they could be a Super Bowl contender. I think they're probably one of the NFC South next year.
Joe, what do you think about that?
I think that is. I'm scared. I am scared of what the Bucs are going to bring. I'm scared of how good that receiving core is going to be, and I think that sort of forces the Panthers' hand in where they go. If they do trade back, that first pick may end up being one of the top defensive backs, provided they're there.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think you're right. So right now, CarolinaCatChronicles.com has Reid Foster in. He's the managing editor for the Carolina Panthers section of Cover 32. Reid, where do you think the Panthers go at this point now? Do you see us making any moves other than just back?
Well, if Carolina doesn't trade back, I'm thinking that it might be Morgan Moses, the offensive tackle from Virginia, but you saw Taylor Lewan go with number 11 to Tennessee, which was a little earlier than you would have liked to see him go because there's always, I think Morgan Moses is probably the last good offensive tackle that would be worth their time at number 28. Mel Kiper Jr. projects them to take the song Joe Boliano from Nevada, Wisconsin. Right. I think he's the best player available, and I think there's a good chance that Jason Verrett, TCU, the cornerback, or Kyle Fuller from Virginia Tech, who I really like as a cornerback, are available there. And if they're the best player available, you got to take them. And, I'd rather have a really, really good cornerback than, a slightly above average offensive tackle.
Yeah, I think you're right, and we talked about this when you joined us on the NFC South show. Is we were talking about how important it is with the depth. You have to look, and I actually quoted you in a story. I put a clip up of our conversation where you said it's not only just need, it's not just best player available, but it's both of those in the context of the entire draft. So when you're looking at the fact that you have a deep receiver class, and then you're looking at potentially the drop-off between a guy like, really, his name's Joe Bitonio, right?
Yeah.
Joel.
Okay, that guy right there is, that's a bit, it's not worth a 28 pick. That's kind of worth the 60 pick. So at that point, you might as well pick somebody that's worth that 28 point, and then just try to address those needs as you go with picks and players that are qualified to do so. So my question to you is this, is that you like Jason Verrett. We have a sick graphic on the website, by the way, you got to check up, of Jason Verrett, because we think he could be there. Do you think Bradley Roby is still there at 28?
I think so, because there were, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there were some legal concerns with him recently that could see it drop to the second or third round.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen, because the poor fella got a drinking ticket for sitting in a sitting car, and he blew a .08. So I mean, and he did get in a fight at a bar one time, but there was kind of some evidence that it was not he wasn't the instigator of the fight and some things. So if that's the case, though, how about this? If you have Verrett sitting there and you have Bradley Roby and you're Dave Gettleman, who do you make the call on?
I mean, between the two, I'd probably take Jason Verrett because I think he's a little safer.
Wow.
And that's just me.
Okay. I mean, I can see that. I mean, I think that, Jason Verrett has great technique. He's very fluid. He's got good, smooth, like, whatever they say about hips and cornerbacks. But the thing that still considers that you still have to say is that, look, Tampa Bay just took Mike Evans, and that dude's like 6'4", and you're going to be trying to put up a 5'10" guy against him. That's a tough matchup. Or I guess he might even be shorter, isn't he?
Yeah, 5'9", 5'10", somewhere around there.
Yeah. All right, Joe. How about this? Fire a last question for Reid that you want to hear before we let him go and enjoy the rest of his night.
All right, Reid. Who do you think the Panthers' trade partner would be if they do go back? If they are able to trade back?
I think it would have to be with a quarterback needy team. I think you could potentially see Minnesota. If the Texans, if the rumors about them trading for Ryan Allen, if the Patriots aren't trade, then I could see them trading up with Carolina. I think that any team that needs a quarterback, you're going to have maybe a Derek Carr, maybe a Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe even Teddy Bridgewater back there. That's going to attract a lot of interest from some people.
What about, do you think that the Raiders could be a possible match?
I think so, yeah. I think if they have a guy they like, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're necessarily targeting any quarterback, but that would be very Raiders-like. I think if the Raiders would draft anyone, Jimmy Garoppolo would make sense.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. All right, so what do you got planned for the rest of the night? Are you doing a lot for Cover 32? Tell us what we should be looking for that you're working on. Give yourself a good plug.
I'm just looking on, tweeting on the Cover 32 account, which is at Cover 32 _CAR for Carolina, and also for my account at Reid RE. I tweet thoughts. I tweeted out how I think the Falcons get top 5 offense. Just tweeting stuff like that. Also, and I'm going to be putting out a quick blog post after the Panthers make their pick on what I think about it. Quick note I want to make. Maybe you guys should start talking about this. I do think that the Panthers, at some point, need to start thinking offensive. Need to take an offensive guy, just because I'm not sure Gettleman has shown enough faith in Cam Newton with his drafting strategy. Gettleman wasn't there for the Cam Newton draft. He was there right afterward. It took Luke Kuechly. And last year, we were reviewing our drafts reviewing every Carolina Panthers draft on the Cover 32 website. And looking back at it, and last year the Panthers took two defensive tackles first 2 rounds, including Kawan Short in the second round over Keenan Allen. And both those guys helped out Luke Kuechly, Dave Gettleman's first pick. When the Colts drafted Andrew Luck, they drafted a bunch of receivers to surround him. Will Dave Gettleman show faith in Cam Newton to draft a high-level receiver or offensive tackle? That's what I'm going to be watching for.
Wow, I like it a lot, man. Reid, I can't thank you enough for coming on. We're going to make sure to have you on the show after the draft and when we all get our bearings, and maybe we can work on something together.
All right, great.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Have a great night.
Have a good night, Reid.
All right, it was Reid Foster from Cover 32. Joe, what do you think about that? Actually, how about this? Let's get Big Q. Are you there?
Oh yeah.
All right, Kent. All right, I gotta say this. Who farted?
I heard that.
That's burping.
It was a burp.
Come
Right?
on, Kent. I said I don't think it was a burp. What do you think? How about this? Let me get Big Q because Big Q always, Big Q and them on their show, what they do is they gauge people a lot. These guys, that's what I like about what you guys do a lot, is you talk about personalities, you talk about these kind of off stories, or I guess side stories that are far more important to the dynamics of football than we often give credit to. And so after hearing those two callers, what do you think about the people that we're finding to come on the show?
Oh, you know what? I think it's actually pretty cool. These guys are seem to be some super football minds. Where you find these guys at, man? Like, we get, regular barbershop style dialogue on our show, but you guys got some experts, man. It's pretty cool.
I know. I mean, this is the thing that's crazy about it is that I'm feeling straight intimidated at times.
Yeah,
with this.
those are sharp.
I'm like trying to sit here and tweet something, and these guys have brought out 30 different names and different picks. Hey, Aaron, what we haven't done is talk to you yet. How's it going on Draft Tech? What kind of are they going crazy?
Well, the percentage is pretty high. We're hitting pretty good numbers over there. Last I checked, we were like 6 out of 9 picks correct.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very high percentage. But man, I'm getting mad every one that gets picked here because I'm wanting all these players. Kyle Fuller went. Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ryan Shazier.
Okay.
Fuller went to the Bears.
Yes, it did.
And Shazier just went to Pittsburgh. It's a big man running a 4.38 there.
That's to go with their the linebacker they drafted last year, right?
Yeah.
Out of Georgia. Isn't that right?
Was that Ogletree?
Yeah. Or was that 2 years ago?
Now's the time we find out if the Cowboys do select Johnny Manziel.
I was
Here we go.
Anthony, do you believe that Jerry Jones is actually going to pull the trigger here?
What do you think, Aaron?
I don't think they do, but
No.
So, look, in case you guys can't see the counter.
All right, let me ask you this.
$5 million wrapped up in Romo.
If they did draft him,
All right.
Oh, the fans are chanting Johnny, Johnny. Uh-oh.
if they did draft him, would that fill Cowboy Stadium for the next 10 years?
Nope. You know what would happen? It would be Tim Tebow 2.0. It will be the fans chanting for Johnny Manziel every time Tony Romo throws an interception.
Maybe a Jason Garrett's pink slip.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. If Jerry Jones does this, it's going to be a problem.
This pick shows whether Jerry's a football man or
Steve Hagerman. Let's see.
Yeah, so I got the Johnny Manziel counter at 1 hour and 50 minutes, man. This is pretty good. This is pretty good.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome, and I thought that somebody would pull the trigger. Hey, Joe, who's the Mike Lem guy?
Oh, Mike is Cardiac Cats from our fantasy league.
He said he wasn't going to be able to come on, right?
Yeah, he's not coming on, right?
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers still 50 minutes between 10 minutes.
Well, Aaron Rodgers sat forever.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But the fans ain't going to let Johnny Manziel sit that long.
Cowboys and Manziel talk.
So if he doesn't go to Dallas, who's next on the list that needs a quarterback?
my
Let's
prediction.
see. We
Cleveland at
have
26.
nobody in the first round. Nobody left in the first round.
Cleveland at 26.
Well, it could be the Jets, could be Kansas City because of the Alex Smith situation, although that's probably more bluster than truth.
Yeah.
How long is Arizona going to put up with Carson Palmer?
And then
Oh, yeah, Arizona. That's true.
Cleveland.
All right. Well, here's the
26.
moment. This is good. This I wanted to see if Jerry Jones is full of crap.
No, Cleveland. Let's see. He traded up, didn't they?
Oh, they're chanting Johnny, Johnny.
Yeah, I think Jerry Jones is full of crap. I don't think he got the guts to do it. I really don't.
Jerry Jones is probably sitting there going, "Oh hell, I didn't really think he was going to still be there."
Exactly.
Well,
Oh,
my thing
they're
is,
rabid.
they don't need to sell tickets, though.
I know,
They
right?
don't.
They need to pay for that $100 trillion stadium.
Well, what they need to
I hope they're not cheering for Johnny Manziel. I hope are the Cowboys fans really bought into this?
I think so, man.
Oh, no, Jerry might do it.
They're
Just like this boy, too,
citizens.
I mean, I remember he traded up from 20-something to number 1 to get Felix Jones, and you see how that worked out.
Exactly.
Yes, I don't know.
32nd out of 32 in defense last
All
year.
right, they got him. Whoever it is, they know who it is now.
Oh my God, this is crazy. This is what is
This is reality TV at its best right here.
Yeah, it is. If they pick Manziel, my uncle, Cowboys fan, he said if they pick Manziel, he will denounce the Cowboys. I said,
I
well,
want to
that's
hear
fine.
Mark Benton's thought.
Oh, me too. If they pick the Cowboys, I'm immediately going to text him.
Wow.
If Manziel goes there, that really is gonna cause all kinds of headaches.
I mean,
But it will be fun TV.
It will be. It will be.
time don't sound as good as Tebow time, but you know this is gonna be good to see. We'll go see what
It'll
Jerry
have
Jones
to be.
does, man.
It'll be Manziel magic.
Yeah, something like that. Right.
We're almost at the 2-hour marker, aren't we, Big
Oh
Q?
yeah.
What do you think Tony Romo's
They
thinking right
can't
now?
pick him.
Oh, Tony Romo's sweating bullets right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, maybe not because you know he got a lot of guaranteed money coming his way. He don't really care. I don't think he's sweating it too much. He might not be sweating it that
you're
much.
right. You're right. He's not.
He should be sweating a little bit because nobody, I mean, at some point he's got to just
There we go.
realize that
Adele's
nobody
making
likes
it ready
him.
to stand.
The moment of
All
truth.
right. Is this the moment of the draft that we're gonna be talking about for the next 10 years?
Yeah, it will be, won't it?
Yes, it will. He's smiling.
Oh, they took Martin.
Yeah, Zach Martin.
Good pick. That's
Zach
a good
Martin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew
that's a
that.
good pick.
I didn't think Jones had the balls to do it. I really didn't think he did.
I didn't either.
He's got small arms.
That's best
Hey, Aaron,
available
does
there.
Zach Martin have small arms?
He does, but you know what? He's a man.
He can play any of the 5 positions on offense.
He's a man. I like that.
He's a good player.
Okay, so I just got a direct message from Nathan Connolly, and this is what he said. Nathan Connolly from WFNZ, the fan, said, I have a feeling that there's going to be a trade back tonight, analysis tomorrow night.
Ooh.
That's Nathan Connolly from
That's some
WFNZ. Now, I don't know how much of that is just I mean, he said just a feeling. You know, has anybody checked to see what Bill Voth has said tonight? I have not seen any activity from him.
I hadn't seen him either.
Maybe he's taking the night off.
No way.
Well,
He can't
I gotta
take a
think-
night off. He just
Not off from Twitter or something, maybe.
He just started a Panthers website. Nah, he just started a Panthers. He must be eating dinner with Dave Gettleman then.
Well, he probably saw y'all's website and decided to give it up.
That's what I'm hoping.
No way. I'm hoping. I want Bill Voth to add us to his resources page. That's what I'm hoping for. He's got everybody up there but us. But you know, we're kind of the new kids. So, Kyle Fuller gone. Man, that hurts. Kyle Fuller. That's early for him. So who's the next in line, Aaron, at cornerback? Is it Roby after that?
Now you got Darquez Denard.
Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
he's-
Michigan State.
How did he? Oh yeah, I guess somehow Kyle Fuller sneaked ahead of him in the rankings in the past 2 weeks.
Problem with him is he is a pure press man cover. We'd have to change our scheme just a little bit to accommodate him, but he's a heck of an athlete. I don't think he'll make it down to us. I think San Diego would take him.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll
Oh
see.
wow,
But then
so
you got
who's that? Baltimore? Hey, where's your brother
San
at?
Diego needs a guard, too.
I don't know. Oh, I haven't heard from him today, so I really don't know.
I haven't heard from him at all. I
San
sent
Diego
two
needs a guard,
messages.
too. They're long.
But what would? Oh, they need some help. I don't know. Maybe you think they're gonna draft? Has a running back got drafted yet?
Not
man,
gonna go in
there's
the
not,
first
I don't
round.
think there's a single running back that goes in the first, maybe
Right.
even
Yeah.
the second.
So who are the
Yeah,
Ravens
that Arizona running back, I think. Who was it just that, like a bulldozer?
Okay. No, there's one guy that is he the one that's been in trouble? Is he the one that had the gun charges? No, that was he went to Arizona State, right?
Might have been.
No, I don't know.
I mean.
Well, guess what, guys? I just want to let you know something. Is we have the internet. We're on it, and
it's a tool you can use.
yeah, and
Did you break it?
yeah, I have. No, I haven't broken it yet. It's Carlos Hyde, I believe.
Hyde from Ohio State.
No, that's Ohio State.
Yeah.
Is it Kadeem Carey? That's Arizona.
There's some great players left.
Well, I haven't worried about the Carolina drafting a running back early, so I really haven't looked into running backs that much.
No, his name is it Loren Wade? Does that sound right?
No, I mean, look.
No. Okay, so how about this? Is what we need to really be focusing on this. Well, first, Aaron, you just got to retweet. Second, what are the top storylines so far of the draft? I think that's an interesting question to talk about. Number one, Big Q's all over it.
Yeah.
Where is Johnny?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. But I always thought that they overhyped Johnny Manziel during this whole entire process. I think they needed to put a face on the draft to kind of sell it.
Right.
And it worked, and everybody's like, when is Manziel going to get picked? But the thing I want to talk about is Atlanta's, Atlanta, I didn't know if their game plan was to try to get these highly, ranked defensive players, but it looked like they plan failed, and that kind of thing. And I'm still questioning Houston taking Clowney at number one. I don't know. Just that one still don't sit right with me for whatever reason.
No way. I think that's a great pick. I think you're silly to pick anybody above him.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that there might be. Look, you're gonna say this. You're gonna say Houston has got a good defense, right?
Yeah.
And they need some additions somewhere else.
Right.
But at first pick, can you really justify anybody over him? And maybe the question is, Ken just beat his cat.
Hardly across the room, I was clapping my hands to get him off the dresser.
But here's the thing about this is that I guess maybe you could have said they could have gone offensive tackle first, right?
Well, I just thought there was more value in that number one pick for their team than to actually use it on the player. I would have dealt it. I'm just saying I would have.
Yeah, but you got to have somebody ready to give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? And what are you going to really get out of it?
I think that's probably what it was. Their asking price was just too high.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they wanted some St. Louis Rams type stuff.
Right. They wanted multiple first rounders, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Pick here has got to be Clinton Dix or Calvin Pryor.
Okay, Pryor's from Louisville, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be Pryor over Dix, but watch him prove me wrong.
Clinton Dix.
Mosley.
Whoa.
Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's like a number 9, number 10 prospect.
Is he Ray Lewis?
That makes perfect sense because they need interior linebacker.
Yeah.
That's a great pick for him, I think.
Yeah.
Is he Ray Lewis-esque?
You know what they say? And Aaron will probably be able to. He can answer this the best out of everybody. But they say that he has all the tools to be a top. Is he an inside linebacker?
Yeah.
He's a top inside linebacker. He can do it. It's just he's been very banged up through his college career, and I think that has been, where they get him at pick 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is a good value, and that was, and I think I might have stole this from you, Aaron, actually, because this sounds familiar. Is that him dropping to like 17, 19? I think I heard. I heard the guys. This is where I heard this at. I heard C.J. Mosley, good value. They thought 19. Who's at 19? Miami? Arizona?
Yeah, you're right.
Miami.
Miami.
It was the guys at draftcountdown.com. I wonder what they're doing tonight. They must be busy. Have you ever seen their site, Aaron?
No.
Oh, you got to check out draftcountdown.com. Those guys.
Miami really needs. They need a lineman. I mean, come on. They got Brandon Albert, but they still need like 2 more linemen.
Yeah, Miami though, they got some good pieces at Miami. You can put some guys in there and make a big. They had a good season a strong season. Yeah,
but they allowed the most sacks by far in the NFL, and with that young quarterback, one guy as a free agent, Brandon Albert's not going to get the job done.
Have you, Big Q? Have you heard from your brother what he thinks about this yet?
No, I actually haven't heard anything from him.
Like, just jumping up and. Should we be worried?
Well, I don't know. Like he's the football guy. He's probably plugged all the way in. I sent a couple texts at him, but he hadn't responded. So I don't know what's going on. And I reached out to Glass, but those dudes are locked in, man. I'm not gonna mess with them.
They're zeroed in, huh?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Pardon me, I'm just slouching. I'm tired.
Tired? We're just.
This pick's going to come down to Darqueze Dennard or Brandon Cooks.
Oh. Man.
I had to go Beckham, but he already went.
Beckham's gone. Beckham went first.
I had him, and that's what I'm saying. The picks we took before all this started.
So. What about the Reuben guy? Has he gone? Or is that his name? They thought he was going to go to. No, that's the guy that already plays for the Giants, I think.
Reuben Randall.
Yeah, Reuben Randall. Because they, that's a good, they needed that in New York. I think that was a good pick by New York because Eli has not, the Victor Cruz is the only guy there, and, he's not elite.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a good move. I like Odell there. I think he'll fit in with that offense. He's a threat. He's good on the special teams, too.
They need to hit that offensive line hard, though. There's a number of teams that still need to do that.
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of teams. I really hope the Jets go Dennard here.
Yeah.
It's so hard to keep up with all the stuff I got. This,
the rumor was that Zach Martin was gone. Miami was going to be trying to trade.
I know. Hey, I'm with you, Big Q, is that I've been trying to manage this phone. I've been trying to put these graphics up. I want to put a shout-out to Nathan Conley, T-Bone from all these guys, Clip Brock from the Sports Bar, how they manage all of this and tweet and talk sports at the same time is awesome. And because these guys at the Fan, Mac and T-Bone and Nathan Conley, these guys have long conversations with you on Twitter and through email.
Wow.
And they're holding the damn show and producing it. And I'm like flustered.
Right.
I'm like, I don't even know whose pick it is. I want to see us have are we gonna be like really bummed when Brandon Cooks goes off the board?
I will be.
That's your guy. That's your guy.
I don't think he's going to make it to us anyway. So,
but who could take him? Like, I don't think Miami's going to take him. Arizona probably could use him. I don't think Green Bay.
Oh well, Green Bay could use him.
Yeah.
He would be sick in Philadelphia.
Yeah, because Philadelphia kind of lost both of their wide receivers.
Yeah. Cincinnati might pick a cornerback. All right, how about this? Aaron, you're the draft guy. You tell us who are some guys outside the typical positions of offensive tackle and wide receiver that are high on boards that are still out there that like kind of that BPA thing. Is there anybody out there that Gettleman might be tempted to move on that we are not seeing?
Well, you got Cooney Ely, right? The big defensive end.
Right. Okay.
Which two things about him: he can play any position along the defensive line. And if we can't sign Greg Hardy long term, he gives you insurance.
Hmm.
So Coney Ely could be a guy to watch. Another one is you can take the #1 guard in the draft in Xavier. I can't even pronounce his last name. Silva. Yeah, I mean that guy is a monster. So you're taking the #1 player at their position if you get him. So that's. Would you rather have the 4th best tackle or the best guard?
Yeah, but the guard at 28, I mean, the best guard, you know what I mean, is that there's been guys that play guard in Carolina that just aren't that good, you know what I'm saying, and have done it okay.
What if you get a Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame type guard?
Take him.
It'd be worth it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Sikulo, we've got him, and we've got the guy that they drafted last year that got hurt.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to say
Edmund
it.
Kabila.
Yeah,
Hey.
Kabila.
Big Q, what's the count at?
The count is now at 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Jeez.
2 hours.
I mean, 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours and 7
I was about to
seconds.
say, that's time flies.
You know what? The longer it goes, I think the better it is for John.
Oh,
In
absolutely.
the long run.
Oh,
Like you
absolutely.
put a better team towards the end of the draft.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, you know, I do really feel like, you know, this guy, people look at him and was like, you know what, it's a fun thing to play with, but I don't think nobody really took this guy seriously. I really don't. I don't think anybody actually really say, you know what, let's go with Menzel.
Knowing a Rex Ryan team, it could be Bradley Roby here. You never know. About to find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Denard, yeah.
Now, their offensive coordinator used to work with Philadelphia and had, gosh, who's the guy that just left there? Everybody thought about coming to Carolina.
Off.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This guy Cooks plays a lot like Deshaun Jackson did.
Wow. Menzel's still on the board at 18. He must be, like, losing his mind right now.
I wonder if he's heard from any teams.
They just mentioned that Arizona was interested in him, but maybe they have placed a call or two. I don't know.
That's who I predicted he'd go to in my mind. We'll see.
I think they were just now waking Gettleman up from his nap.
He's like, what did I miss? What did
All
I
right. Guys, Joey, you take over and run it. I'm going to bring our next caller on, okay?
All right. Here we go. The Jets are getting ready to make their pick. I'm thinking Denard.
If I had to bet, I would say Denard.
Let's see what we got. It is safety.
Bryant.
Wow.
Oh, Pryor. Yeah. Well, that was
That's pushing the defensive backs down.
That's probably BPA.
right.
Yeah.
On their board. Yeah.
That's going to make some cornerbacks available at 28, though. Watch.
Yes, it will.
Well, guys, I got to go do some write-ups. I'll probably be back here a little bit later.
All right, man.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
thanks.
for coming on, Aaron.
Yeah, you got it, man. Enjoy it.
All right, so Pryor going does definitely leave some cornerbacks on the board for us. Wow, he just killed that guy.
Well, what if Clinton Dix is around? We need a safety.
Yeah, that's true. If Clinton Dix is around, that would be good.
Wow, I can't believe we are so close to Carolina's pick, and we still got most of our options are still available.
Yeah, I mean, we do. We have a wide variety of picks and directions we can go,
Yeah.
which is really great. I mean, that's so we really need to hit a home run here, or multiple home runs for that matter.
Uh-huh.
I had Calvin Pryor going number 13 to the Rams, actually. So, see, that's the thing about the positional value. Safeties slide.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
They really do.
I'm actually surprised a safety went in the first round.
Yeah, well, me too, considering it's only the 18th pick.
Yeah.
You know, I could see it toward the back half of the draft, the first round. You know,
How much?
toward the back of it.
How
So this,
many bottles of water has this dude drank in the last 2 hours and 11 minutes? Oh my goodness.
Well, it was funny. You heard my comment about that sip of water he took earlier, right?
No,
the
I
photo
missed it.
dip.
What was that?
Johnny Manziel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they showed him taking a sip of water, and the water didn't get anywhere near his lips. I was watching.
And he's got to do something to take some of the attention away from him, right? Poor
It
guy.
was just, it was just doing it just like, oh, well, everything's cool. And, I'm just going to take a sip of water. It wasn't even close. His mouth didn't get wet.
Yeah, I hope. Who's next? We've got the Dolphins. Dolphins need offensive line help, right? Where
Yeah.
else could they use some assistance?
Inside linebacker, I think Mosley was probably on their radar until he got taken up.
Right.
Guard, yeah, I'm thinking a guy like they're talking about Xavier Soafilo.
Oh yeah, from UCLA.
Yeah, to replace Richie Incognito.
Okay, I could see that happening.
I'll be right back.
That's good. I like that.
Protect Tannehill.
Right, they need to. They have to be able to get Wallace some more touches.
Mm-hmm. And Evans gone, or Ebron, whatever, the tight end guy. So
Yeah. So that's where I'm looking at them. That's good for us. That still leaves defensive backs,
Yeah, I'm thinking Denard's probably, or Denard, whatever, D squared. He's probably best available, or Brandon Cooks right now.
Right, I would agree. With that.
Or Stephon Tuitt. He's not been picked yet, has he?
No, he has not.
Yeah.
So there's still some talent on the board. We know Arizona's after the Dolphins. We've heard where Aaron thinks they're going to go. They're headed toward Manziel. And then Cleveland would be the next team in need of a quarterback, I think.
Yeah.
All right. How's your list looking, kid?
Pretty bad. How's yours?
Atrocious. I'm updating it right now to see how bad it really is.
Well, that's what happens is, it's easier to get them early, and then just one trade or one pick that's different, it just, changes the whole outlook of the draft. And
I got the first two right, and then I missed 4 in a row. I got Mike Evans right, and nothing after Mike Evans.
I got the first two, missed on Bortles. Got Sammy Watkins, got Jake Matthews, and then I got I was off by one on Khalil Mack, Mike Evans, and Aaron Donald. No, wait a minute. He was trying. Anyway, I'll have to look. Let's see here. Just look at the score. 610 total points.
Oh yeah, can I see?
You got 560, so you're not far behind.
Oh, I'll take that. Considering how terrible I have done.
Well, I've done slightly less terrible. So.
I had Jerry Rice Cake going to the Ravens, though.
Oh. Well, I think you got as much points out of that one as I did. So.
And I did have Manziel going to the Cowboys.
Oh, did you?
I sure did. I just didn't think Jerry Jones would be able to resist.
Yeah.
Well, I figured it was a smoke screen. I figured if he was broadcasting it that much, it couldn't possibly be true.
Absolutely not.
So I had Rashid Hageman going to the Cowboys defensive lineman.
Right. Wow. So where are we? We are. Oh, I can't even see my thing anymore. We are at
Dolphins.
Dolphins. What do the Dolphins need?
And I had Zach Martin going there, and since he's already gone, oh well.
Well, we know they don't need Johnny Manziel, so we know that much.
Yes, that's for sure.
Uh,
I think they are going to have to go offensive line or linebacker, but I